and going through some real life examples. I'll go through my own cause and effect cycles that were going on in my awakening earlier on, just for clarity. So let's start with the examples from the sheet. So the first one, the first example is that I'm scared of catching COVID. So as we said before, the way that most of the world will see it, that COVID is the cause, it's the thing I'm scared of. It's something out there, and it's different to and separate from me. And COVID existing in the outside world is causing me to feel fear inside. So the COVID is the cause, says the mind, says the normal level of consciousness. It's not really normal, it's very abnormal, but anyway, egoic level of consciousness, let's call it that. The effect is the fear I feel inside. So just to recognize that to believe that, to go back into that mindset, I have abandoned the oneness of the noumenon and myself. I have divided myself now into cause and effect. Duality is suddenly born right there. And I'm not suffering because I'm scared of COVID. I'm suffering because I've divided myself into two, into cause and effect, when really they are one. And to heal this, we need to flip it on its head. What we think is the cause is the effect, and what we think is the effect is the cause. So in this situation, we have to flip it on its head. I'm scared of catching COVID. Well, actually, I'm just scared. I've brought fear into this lifetime with this belief that I've carried into this lifetime that I'm not safe. And the reflection, that's the cause, the belief and the fear. There's no reason for my fear at all, even though our mind and the rest of the world wouldn't agree with that. I'm just scared. And the way that reflects is COVID. COVID is a mass manifestation of the collective consciousness of humanity, symbolizing fear, being out of control, being under attack. So if you see that the cause is the fear, I'm not safe, and that is reflecting outwards as a lack of health and well-being, a lack of abundance with this issue, COVID issue. So you have to really kind of think like an awakened being now. Mind will say, how can I here possibly be the cause of COVID? That's ridiculous. How can COVID be my reflection? But when you say I, you don't mean a separate being. You mean I, the one being that is appearing as all these human beings. And as all these human beings, I'm believing I'm not safe. I'm believing I'm born and going to die. Then my fear is uncaused. There is no cause for that fear in this world, despite what our mind says. I'm just scared. And it's an attitude I brought from previous lifetimes where I remember being born and dying, being born and dying, being born and dying, on and on and on it goes. And I perceive myself as a separate being in this lifetime, still in this area. I will still be scared, and it will reflect as some issue out there. Now, it doesn't mean that COVID's going to magically go away when you see through this, but the likelihood of you contracting it and having serious health issues because of it are greatly diminished. Nothing can harm the body except your own beliefs. Nobody has ever died of COVID, but cause of death is ascribed by that, by doctors like that. But the real cause of death is always the belief that I can die, that I'm a separate being. And that when the body goes, I'm gone. I don't experience anymore. That's the cause of death every single time. The only cause. So we flip it on its head. It's not COVID out there that's affecting me in here. We flip it the other way around. It's me in here being scared, mirroring in this way out there. And I'm going to go through the rest of these examples, but go a little bit faster so that we can get plenty of time for questions. So the next one is, So just to finish that other one, sorry, if I really feel I am scared, I'm not safe, then we're contradicting what we've seen to be true. When I self-inquire, when I contemplate, when I tune into the noumenon, the silence, the stillness, can it die? Can it catch a disease? Can it come to an end? Did it ever begin? Most of us in our inquiry will come to a point where we say, no, that's just not possible for the stillness, the vastness. And then we immediately go back into division. I'm scared of this thing out there, we say. So to overcome this, we must live as self. We mustn't go back to our old beliefs. And they are only beliefs, but they've been believed for a very long time. So you'll feel this force of habit. So next one, my partner doesn't respect me enough, and that makes me get angry. So pretty much most people would agree that if you have an argument with your partner and there's a lot of anger inside, that the reason for that anger is, the cause of that anger is the argument you've just had. And everybody would be sure that there is a cause for that anger. Something external has to happen for this anger to arise inside. In reality, we just are angry. We just have brought this idea from a previous lifetime. I can't get what I want or need to be happy, to be safe, to be loved, all of that. I can't get what I want, I'm blocked. And that makes me feel angry. That's the real cause inside. There is no external cause for anger ever, ever. Just like there wasn't for fear. There is only the ideas that we believe in still. So I might see in my self-inquiry there isn't any other beings to argue with, and then immediately I go back into division, believing that there's this other being out there has made me feel angry in here. The cause, my partner, the effect, my anger. We flip that on its head. The real cause is this anger, and it's mirroring outwards, reflecting as this argument. So until we really get this, there's nothing we can do to fix this relationship until we really grasp, I am angry for no reason at all, no external reason at all. And again, I means both of you. It doesn't mean a separate being. And it will heal the relationship as you begin to see that. Then your relationship will begin to, you'll get the respect and everything that you want then from that place. So there's no cause for the way I think and feel. They're just old habitual attitudes that I've brought, that have been there right from day one, from when I was born. Because I keep experiencing the reflections of this belief, I feel justified in holding on to this idea that I can't get what I want here in this case. So I keep really experiencing it again. So I feel even more justified to hold on to it. And around we go, many, many lifetimes. You've come here to really see this is not how it actually is. The real cause is how I feel about life, how I feel about myself, how I feel about those in my life, how I feel about awakening, all of that. I keep going back into separation again, and that makes me feel very discouraged. I think we can all really identify with this one. You know, I'm just sitting here peacefully, and then some separation thoughts come up, and I start to feel terrible. The result of thinking this way is I feel bad. I feel discouraged. I feel like I'm never going to get this fully. And so the real cause here, if you ask the mind, and our old way of thinking is that because these thoughts are rising here, that's the cause, and the effect is that I feel terrible. I feel discouraged. But again, let's flip it on its head. Because I feel discouraged, because I have the capacity to still believe, I'm still agreeing that this discouragement is valid, that I might not get what I want, which in this case is to wake up fully, to have a stable, effortless realization, continuous peace. Because I feel discouraged, it's reflecting as this noise of thoughts. The effect is the noise of all these thoughts about separation. So if you see in these examples, we're turning it on its head. What I was sure was the cause is actually the effect. And what I was sure was the effect, usually some feeling in here, is always the cause. They are one and the same, if you like it better that way. So when I really begin to see and live from, I don't even need to wake up, I am already the self, therefore I cannot fail. I can recognize the noumenon right now. I can do the lesson 3 exercises to confirm I am that. I'm looking from the noumenon. Then I will lose my ability to feel discouragement, and it will reflect as stable, continuous peace, silent mind. I suffer from a chronic condition that limits me and makes me very sad. I'm in a lot of pain and it makes me, but we'll do these two together. Well, no, we won't. We'll do them separately. I suffer from a chronic condition that limits me and makes me very sad. So there's something really wrong with my body. That's the cause that we're all sure of. And the effect is how sad I feel, how upset I feel about that. Most people would really agree that the cause of feeling sad, that sadness is the effect and the cause is the condition, the lack of health in my body, for whatever reason that is. But again, we flip it on its head. Because I feel sad, and I've felt sad for a very long time, and I keep agreeing that I'm sad. The story behind sadness is I can't get what I need. It's kind of an apathetic form of anger where I've given up even trying. I just feel sad. Given up trying to get what I want, to feel safe, to feel happy. So because I feel sad, that's reflecting as this chronic health condition. It's turning down the dimmer switch on the abundant flow of well-being and health to the body. And it is the situation in the body is the effect. The sadness is the cause. So we have to flip these around, turn them on their head completely. I'm in a lot of pain and it makes me despair and feel it's hopeless. So if we're living in chronic pain for whatever reason, our mind is going to suggest that the way I feel emotionally is the result of that pain. The pain is the cause, and that the way I feel is the effect. That I feel hopeless because of the pain. I feel despair because of the pain, that I'm never going to heal this pain so that I can feel better. Cause is the pain, according to the worldly way of seeing, and the effect is how I feel. Again, we have to turn that on its head, that when I really come to see that I'm still holding on to some idea that is causing this, that is this despair, that is this hopelessness. I want to get out of pain. I want to be free of pain. Is the noumenon in pain? When you check in with the silence, can it suffer like that? And then we go back to this idea that I can't get what I want. That's the way we feel inside. The hopelessness and the despair is reflecting as this pain. And the only way to heal it is to really look at these stories and begin to question, is that true for the noumenon? No. Well, then why am I still agreeing with it now? Am I allowing my experience to dictate what I'm going to agree with? And am I ever going to heal a situation from there? Ever? Is there any way out of this cycle if I've got cause and effect flipped on their head completely? So, the last one is, I'm angry that I cannot get a job to pay my bills. So, I'm angry that I cannot get a job to pay my bills. So, the lack of a job is the cause, according to the worldly view. And the effect is anger. There's things happening out there or failing to happen here, getting a job that I need. It makes me angry inside. And again, we have to flip it on its head. There is how I feel inside, this residual attitude that I'm still holding on to, that I might not get, or I can be blocked from what I want, in this case, a job. And that is making me feel so angry. I'm disempowering myself and treating myself as a separate being. And that lowers the natural peace, the dimmer switch from peace, bliss, and joy to anger, and probably fear as well, and all that goes with that, unworthiness, all of that stuff. And that's reflecting as a lack of abundance financially and in terms of purpose. I'll feel better when I've got a job, mind says. We'll feel better first, agree with what's true for the noumenon, and watch what happens in the reflection. All of this is you, all of it, still. It's not outside of you or separate to you. Everything you're seeing is a reflection of what you believe to be true. Everything you're experiencing is a reflection. And all of us go back into dividing ourselves into cause and effect, into duality, without realizing it for a while. So we can just forgive ourselves for that. We all do it. And come to see it's really the other way around to what I've believed. Once I start to recognize the real cause is inside me, then I'm right back in control to heal this thing once and for all. If I look at the emotions I feel, look at the way the situation seems to make me feel, question the story behind the emotion, and watch the reflection change. Otherwise, I'm going to endlessly try to get a job and never succeed. I'm going to endlessly try to heal the body, or my relationship with my partner, or whatever it is in these examples. And I'll never succeed permanently. And even if I do, I'll have to experience the same belief in some other area of my life. Has to be. This is why these karmic patterns get worse for a lot of us, the more awakened we get, because we're still believing in duality, into cause and effect being two separate things. The effect is a reflection of the inner cause. You are the cause of your world, of the world, but not in a personal way, not as a separate being. You, the noumenon, are the cause of the universe. It's not separate to you, but it's your appearance. It's arising, and it's going to be shaped by your beliefs. So you begin to really question those and not automatically go back into agreeance with them. See what you see in your inquiry, in your meditation. Recognize what's true for the noumenon. And then notice where you're contradicting that. In the last week alone, I'm not going to share names, obviously, because it's confidential, but there's been a couple of beliefs that have come up in sessions, in satsangs and things like that. So a couple of beliefs that are really held onto, that really start to become problematic. General attitudes that we have to life. That the world is not safe. You know, the world is going to hell. You know, you read the news headlines, you can see that belief playing out. Nothing good in life comes easy. I heard that one over and over again as a child. So what does that mean? The best good that there is to awaken, and I'm going to have to really struggle with awakening over and over again if I believe that thought. Nothing good in life comes easy. I don't deserve to have it all. That belief can be so pervasive in our life that even if I start to begin to experience awakening, I begin to unconsciously sabotage the rest of my life because I don't feel that I can have inner success and outer success at the same time. I feel I have to choose one or the other. Or I really believe somewhere that waking up is abandoning my humanity or something like that. It has to be both because they are the same one. Inner success and awakening must reflect as outer success. Awakening is a sacrifice. Oh God, did I believe this one? That is hard. It takes a long time. It's difficult. It only happens to a few beings. All of that nonsense that we believe. Are you living that out right now? Are you living out not being able to break through something because you believe awakening is hard? Are you living out something happening because you believe it's hard to break through karma, or like I was, it's hard to understand cause and effect, something like that. I won't be able to be awake and live in the normal world. Utter rubbish, and yet we all believe it to some degree, don't we? It's been the most amazing experience for myself to be utterly wrong about that, to actually utterly enjoy being a human being and living from that place of truth, and falling back in love with my family and loving my children even more, and watching my business prosper, and all these things that we kind of feel we have to forsake, that it's not spiritual. The spiritual and the material are the same thing. They must be equally successful in a full awakening. Nothing ever works out for me. Well, everything is working out for us, but we're just watching the evidence of this belief. Nothing ever works out for me. It's mirroring back to us. The universe has no choice but to agree with you, what you're sure of. And we go into our self-inquiry. There's nothing wrong here. There can never be anything wrong here. Everything's wonderful. Everything's working out so well. And I can never be harmed. I can never be, upset or anything. Can never be ill, never age. And then we go right back into this, nothing ever works out for me. We go back into this agreement. These beliefs are inside us, believed so much that we don't even know we believe them until we experience the reflection. That's what the reflection is for, to show us what we're still unaware of, unconscious of. Not that it's hidden, it's just that we so believe this belief that we don't even examine it, we don't even question it. Life is abundant, life is joyful, life is spontaneous, life is effortless, life is a fountain of well-being. Everything you want and more. Where these beliefs have been there right from the get-go, filtering our experience. Money doesn't grow on trees. How many people heard that one? Over and over. As a child, I heard that hammered into me. Money is something scarce and it's hard to come by and it's a big deal, all of that. Those that are successful have done it at the expense of others. So if we believe outer success means that we have to climb on the back of other beings and compromise our ethics and values to do that, and how are we ever going to experience abundance in an outer way, in whichever way that manifests for us? So you can probably come up with your own list of beliefs, attitudes, ways of seeing the world. All politicians are corrupt. Governments, they're, all these beliefs that we have about the way the world is. None of it is true, but you as the noumenon are experiencing this on a global scale because of the mass of beliefs in humanity that we have as human beings.